Good morning. Welcome to another week of Morning Momentum. So glad that you joined me this week. Beginning today, we're going to be looking at various things that we need to do well now because they're going to have an impact in the future down the road. So join me as we move forward today with great momentum. If you've ever looked into the iconic names in the genre of management and leadership within the last 30 years, you've no doubt heard of the name Jack Welch. Welch served as the CEO of General Electric Company from 1981 to 2001. During these years of his leadership at General Electric, the value of the company rose by 4,000%. What makes the iconic story of Welch's transformation of that company even more fantastic is that Welch actually started working for GE among the lowest ranks in the company when he was hired in 1960 as a simple chemical engineer. Welch's hard work and continued commitment to developing his own knowledge and skills moved him from being an average laborer to one of the greatest leadership in modern era. Years later, when he would be asked, "How do you ensure continued growth and enable your rise of influence and promotion?" Welch provided two very critical commitments. The first is over-delivering on results within the values criteria that your boss sets for the team. The other quality that makes you promotable is constantly working to make your boss smarter. Each of these mindsets demonstrate a growth mentality, a commitment to excellence, and faithful serving. In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus tells the principled story of a man that is going on a long journey. But before he leaves, he calls his 3 servants to him and gives each of them a measure of silver, or a talent, as the Bible says. To one servant, he gave 5 talents of silver, to another 2, and the last he gave 1, and then he left. While he was gone, the servant with the 5 talents of silver worked by investing and growing what he had been given, doubling the value from 5 to 10. The second servant did the same, doubling from 2 to 4 talents. However, the final servant took the one that he had been given, buried it in the sand. And so when the man returned, he called the servants and he commended those that had faithfully invested what had been given to them, rewarding them by giving them even greater levels of responsibility, and with that, undoubtedly increased wealth. However, the man was angry with the one servant that decided to bury his talent in the ground, calling him both lazy and wicked. He then took the 1 talent from that man and gave it to the man that already had 10. This story demonstrates the characteristic that Jack Welch personified during his career with General Electric. Though he was just hired as one of the thousands of engineers employed by the company, Welch began committing to excellence. He worked to invest the talents and the abilities that had been given to him. Evidently, somebody within the company recognized the efforts of the engineer, and his hard work was rewarded. Be assured that somebody is watching. Others are watching you to see if you are developing your talents and abilities that have been given to you or burying them in the sand. They're watching to see what you do with opportunities that you're afforded. Will you simply do the bare minimum with a lackluster effort and doing just enough to get by and keep those in oversight, just enough to keep those in oversight off your back? Or will you commit to over-deliver, completing ahead of deadlines and beyond expectations? How you approach today's task will determine tomorrow's promotion. The faithful servants who were faithful when the master was gone were rewarded with increased responsibility when he returned. Jack Welch did not just become a leader that transformed the value of General Electric by 4,000% when he was awarded the title of CEO, but he had always possessed this transformative mindset that moved him from laborer to leader. Commit today that you will not bury your talents in the ground, that you will not become a selfish miser of wealth and increase, hoarding it all to your own well-being, but commit to excellence and faithful servants. Right now in the comments, if you're going to join with me and decide that you have what it takes to be a transformative leader, I want you to go right now into the comments, and I want you to make a statement today that you are going to be a faithful steward of the talents and the abilities that you have been given.